Nerazzurri fans from all over the world, welcome to the Interglobe for Juventus-Inter 1-1 semi-finals first leg of Coppa Italia. I have to say it was an awfully boring game. Boring! Oh my god, it was so difficult to watch yesterday. I don't know how I didn't fall asleep. It was not a pleasant game to watch, but we brought home a good result. And I want to look into this game, which was not so good, but which expressed some interesting statistics. Let's have a look. Ball possession 62% versus 38% for Juventus. So we really got the ball in our feet most of the time. Fouls committed 15-9 for Inter, and won contrasts 6-1 for Inter. This means that we had the right attitude. We were tough. We were not keeping our foot away from the ball, fearing contrasts. No, we went into every duel, and this goes to Inzaghi's merit because he prepared the game correctly. Also, in terms of preciseness, which is something of a weakness for us lately, we've been good because we had correct passes 91% versus Juventus 87%. So, we were on top of things. We did showcase some personality. We got into the game with the correct attitude. And also in terms of shot on target, we won 4-3. But, all in all, this game was a tie. Was a game that was supposed to be a tie. And so it was, even if with a lot of surprises, especially in the end, but that was the right result. Last piece of statistics, we ran 115 kilometers as a team versus 112 that Juventus ran. So this also tells that we are physically apt. If we fix this mentality problem we have when we suffer a goal, or in general our up and downs during the season, we can really do well still, because Inzaghi is a good coach, and I want to underline this. I heard a piece of statistics also today that was amazing. Last year, in terms of expected goals, the second team in Serie A was Milan with 67. Expected goals is based on the plays you produce during a game. There is an expectation that you will score a certain number of goals in the season. Well, for Milan, last year it was 67. For Inter, it was 90 expected goals. And it's incredible because no other team in Europe created so much. The problem is that we converted a lot less than these 90 that we created. So our problem is finalization, is converting. And that's why our forward department is really under scrutiny, because they are not performing well. Let's come to the game. First half, as I said, we came with the right attitude. They pretty much held the ball in the first 10-15 minutes, but we created, after Di Maria's shot that was brilliantly saved by Handanovic, we created a few opportunities, and we didn't score. It was a 0-0 game, and it deserved to be a 0-0 game because nobody did enough to score. So the first half was very balanced. In the second half, again, very boring beginning. Then we did have an opportunity with D'Ambrosio, and they had an opportunity with Milik. We also had another opportunity before Milik with Mkhitaryan, with a nice shot, low shot from the left to the right that went this close to the post. And then they scored this goal, which was obviously an individual mistake by Gosens. And then we got lucky in the very last minute. Bremer, maybe he remembered that he should have been our player, not Juventus. And so he touched the ball in such a way that even in Juventus Stadium, even in the 95th minute, the referee had to whistle and to give us the penalty. But of course, we paid for this because he then expelled and sent off Lukaku just because he silenced the pigs that were sitting in the stadium and chanting against him with racist choirs. This was a game in a nutshell. Coming to the player, Handanovic, to the players. Handanovic, 6.5, great save on Di Maria in the beginning. Difficult context because all fans are against him. Why is he playing? We want Onana. probably it's something that he already decided before the beginning of the season with the coach and the sporting department. So he played and he played well. 6.5. He was even active with his feet, almost like being inspired by Onana's attitude. And so very good. Andanovic 6.5. D'Ambrosio 5. You know I love D'Ambro. I love you, but you missed a header which was basically a goal, 2 meters from Perin, and you also were late a couple of times in intervening on Vlahovic. You did make a good save on Di Maria, but all in all, it wasn't your best game, D'Ambro. So Danilone, I will give you a 5 for yesterday, even though I love you. Then Acerbi 6+, because he played well. Vlahovic didn't create much problem in our defense, and solid as always, 6+. Bastoni 6.5. He made a great save on a corner kick that was almost comparable to a goal, and then he was very good in containing Vlahovic in the second half when he was back to the goal, and it was very dangerous because he could turn in any moment and in any way. He was like 5 meters away from the goal, so it was a brilliant defending from Bastoni, which is something to note because we always criticize him for his defensive performances, and that's why Bastoni is 6.5. Darmian 6.5. He really contained Kostic very well. He limited him very well, and we know that Kostic is one of the best wings in Serie A, so good and well-deserved 6.5 for Darmian. Barella 4. I'm tired of you, man. I'm tired of you. I want Aslani to play, and I want you to leave maybe at the end of the season because you're just counterproductive for our team. You are too nervous, in a way that's almost hysterical, you know, it's almost schizophrenic, it's not even justifiable in any way. So that's really something terrible. You look like you are 18 years old, not 25, 26 or whatever, and after spending 3 years in a team like Inter. You really look completely immature, and you damage our team, you create tension between players, you lose balls that are really sometimes terrible because they let Juventus go in counterattacks that were very dangerous. You act like you are Modric, you know. You're not Modric, Barella. You're just an average player who plays well if he gives it all and if he's shutting up, not talking and not using his arms. It's a 4, Barella. We are tired of you, so you better change your attitude. Also because it shows, this situation shows that you are surrounded by an entourage of idiots. Because, I mean, who is the person who loves you that doesn't tell you, listen, Nicolò, you're ruining your career with this attitude, with these behaviors. Change, shut up. If I was the coach or even Inter's president, I would fine him every time he does this. Because it's just not acceptable, period. 4 for Barella. Tubeman Brozovic 5-. He missed a penalty on the move in the first half with that right shot that was so weak, and he also even got a yellow card for protesting. Another idiot who protests and is nervous all the time like Barella. So it's a 5-. Terrible performance. Mkhitaryan 7-. The only one who keeps persevering with consistently good performances is Mkhitaryan, despite the huge amount of games that he is playing. So, you know, he made this assist for Brozovic that then he missed in the first half. He made another wonderful pass to Dimas, an assist for him, and the shot we mentioned in the second half that went this close from the post. So he was the one really keeping midfield alive, because with Barella and Brozovic on the sides, it was really a tough challenge. And that's why he gets a 7-, best Inter man on the pitch. Drone delivery Di Marco, 5.5. He was pretty good in general in terms of being in the forward phase, always present and trying to cross balls, but again, lacking precision, and sometimes making wrong choices. Like I remember the cross he made in the first half, and he had Lauti alone in the middle of the penalty area, and then I don't know who it was on the right, but somebody on the second post, and he shot on the second post instead of seeing Lauti, and in fact Lauti was very upset about this. So the choice was wrong. Sometimes he made wrong choices, and sometimes he made just technically wrong crosses. He's not still the Di Marco we used to know. 5.5, because you could see that he put a lot of effort in any case in his game. And then we go to Dzeko. Dzeko is a 5 plus. I want to give him a plus because he always moves majestically around the pitch. You can see that he knows what to do and he does the right things. Sometimes his physical power just doesn't second his brain. And so it's a 5 plus. I particularly appreciated the ball that he kept and then distributed to Mkhitaryan towards the end. So nothing special and a 5 plus, but you know, I know that it's very much justified because he played too many games and now we need a big Rom to step up. Then we have Lauti, 4.5, disaster. I haven't seen him on the pitch yesterday, so 4.5. We know that Lauti has these periods where he scores 10 goals in 5 games and then 0 goals in 10 games. So this is the period in which he's not scoring. Let's hope that he will get back to his inspiration soon. We then go to Gosens, the substitutions. Gosens gets a 4 minus because Juventus goal is his fault. Where the hell are you going towards the center of the area when you have somebody completely and totally free in your zone? I mean, what are you thinking? 4 minus. Big Rom, 6.5, because scoring that goal in the end was not easy, because the context of these supporters, as we know, was horrible. And he even made this foul where he got a yellow card, which I appreciated because it showed the personality to the rest of the team. I really liked that. It reminded me of a foul that Gullit made 30 years ago in Napoli-Milan, in which basically he wanted to show to Napoli that Milan had the right personality to face them. And this is what I saw in Lukaku's foul yesterday, and 6.5 for him. Dumfries, 6 plus, because the ball that our friend Bremer touched with the ball was hit by a header with Dumfries. So 6 plus for him. Aslani, he played too little to be judged, but definitely better than Barella anyway. Inzaghi, 5.5. Why? Lights and shadows in Inzaghi's performance yesterday. Again, many fans complained about Andanovic. I think it's not Inzaghi's fault. It's something they set up in the beginning of the season. I like the idea of having Dzeko as almost a midfielder. You noticed how he was coming back all the time to get the ball and then distributing it, because he has the vision, he has the intelligence, unlike many of our players, included many of the midfielders, one name for all, Barella. So I like the idea of having Dzeko coming back and distributing. I wonder if you want to help Lukaku after the mistake he made Sunday in the last Serie A's match. Does it make sense to put him on the bench? I don't know about this psychologically, so that's the first criticism I have, because if you have a player that comes from a very terrible game, the first thing you want to do is put him back on the pitch and make him forget about that. Instead, he was on the bench, you know, and that's, I don't know if it was the right choice. Barella shouldn't be on the pitch, so that's your fault. If you can't manage the brain of a player, just leave him on the bench. And the substitutions came a bit too late. But all in all, you know, the attitude, as I say, was good. We put the right focus and determination in the game, as the statistics prove. It was just a very boring game, but it's okay to end with a 1-1. On the 26th of April, we'll see what we will be able to do in San Siro. But if we win in San Siro, we will go through to the final. So that's very good. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please punch the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. It's very important for me. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, Forza Magica Inter.